No, yeah. Good evening. Hello, Hungary. Hello, Poland. This is our second this year, tasting of Tokaj Renaissance with our charming chairman, president of Tokaj Renaissance, Hajnalka Sabo. And Hajnalka, before I give you the voice, I just want to remind to all the participants 12 wines, and you use the spittoons, please. Use the spittoons. And yes, Hajnalka, please.
Okay, thank you. So welcome everyone. Welcome to Tokaj Renaissance Association tasting. It will be a special tasting today. The topic is Tokaj wines and food style pairing. Consuming food and wine together ideally give us a bigger pleasure than consuming them separately. But what food to pair with sweet Tokaj wines? Our obvious answer would be cheese, goose liver, and dessert. At today's tasting, we will be inspired by our gastronomic advisor, Mr. Csaba Harmat, who will give us some new idea, who will help us to discover new pairings, Tokaj wines, and different food style. Let me speak some word of Tokaj region and our association. So today we will taste 12 wines from 12 members. Our members in Tokaj Renaissance Association are wineries with various sizes, even family wineries. This association was the first wine-making association in Tokaj wine region after the fall of the communism and even after the Second World War. The commitment of the association is quality winemaking and enhance the recognition of Tokaj wine worldwide. All of our members are export-oriented companies. As you can see on the map, Tokaj region is situated on the northeast part of Hungary. We are only 350 kilometers from Krakow, 4.5-hour drive. Tokaj, a magical place. I really can say you at the tasting only some keywords. So we have local indigenous grape varieties. Thanks to our special microclimate, we have noble road. We have a labor-intensive, very long harvest and unusual winemaking method. Tokaj is the oldest appellation in the world. We were recognized by UNESCO as World Heritage in 2002. And this year, we are celebrating the 450th anniversary of the first written evidence of Tokajasu. So it was in the 16th century. And at the same period, Tokaj wines were already introduced to international market, thanks mainly to Polish traders. So a big thank you for all of your ancestors. So now let's see the next slide. In Tokaj, we have different harvests. So of course, when we speak about a huge topic, we try to make categories. So we have 3 main categories in Tokaj. The first one is Tokaj dry wines. So in the beginning of that tasting, we will taste Tokaj dry wines. Tokaj dry wines are made from healthy grapes. On this first slide, you can see on the left side, Hárslevelű, on the right side, Tokaj Furmint. So these dry wines can be estate wines or wines from a single vineyard, from a historical vineyard of Tokaj. We have altogether 488 vineyards in Tokaj with the same name from century. It can be blends or one variety wine or different style without oak or with oak. Next slide. So the second category is Tokaj Szamorodni and late harvest wine. On the left picture, you can see a cluster of Tokaj Samorodni. So Tokaj Samorodni wine is made from benches which contain partially noble grapes. The wine must be aged in oak for 1 year and after in bottle for 1 year also. And the wine must be bottled in the half-liter wide Tokaj bottle. It's according to the Hungarian wine law. On the right side, the late harvest grape, so the late harvest wine, it's modern, I would say, freestyle sweet wine category on Tokaj. The common thing with late harvest wine that the grapes spend an expanded time on the vine. So if you see this bunch, you can see healthy grapes, over-maturated grapes, shriveled grapes, and some noble grapes also. The late harvested wine can be aged in barrel and bottle shorter than Samorodni wine. Next slide, please. So the next slide, the third category in Tokaj is the Tokaj Asszú. So noble rot, noble grapes are used for the production of the best sweet wines in the world, including Sauternes in France, including Beerenauslese, Trockenbeerenauslese in Austria and Germany, and of course Tokaj. What is this noble grape? This noble grape, noble rot, is caused by a fungus named Botrytis cinerea. Sometimes you may hear the name botrytized grape. So it's a synonym of noble grape, or in the Tokaj wine region, Asszú grape. The same fungus causes an illness also, the grey rot. But in specific condition, for example, in Tokaj wine region with our specific microclimate, noble rot can form thanks to this fungus, the Botrytis cinerea. So let's see which are the specific conditions. The grape must be fully ripe. The grape must be grown in a wine region where morning are humid and misty and afternoon are hot, dry and sunny. And these climatic conditions varies. The fungus puncture the skin, leaving tiny holes, so it helps to evaporate water, humidity from the grape. So this fungus makes quite important concentration in the grape. Noble grapes are 5 times more concentrated than healthy grapes. And the fungus also generates unique flavors. So very shortly, the winemaking of Asszú wines, it's a basic wine which is before, under or after the fermentation. And in this basic wine, we macerate the noble grapes. Then this mixture is pressed carefully. So at the end of today's tasting, you will taste 3 Asszú wines at the end. And one more piece of information before we start our tasting. In 1 week time, on 29 November, several Tokaj producers, 12, 13 Tokaj producers will be in Warsaw on Tokaj Day. And I will give you more information about this Tokaj Day at the end of the tasting. So let's start our tasting with the first wine, which will be a Deresla dry wine. Good. Deresla can't attend the tasting, so for each wine, the winery representative, in this case, I am the representative of Deresla also. We speak 2 minutes about the winery and the winemaking. Then our gastronomic advisor will speak about food wine pairing. So just some info about Deresla. Deresla is one of the biggest winery in Tokaj wine region. They are situated in Bodrogkeresztúr village. They recently opened a new restaurant. I like very much this place, Deresla Bistro. They have two big venues, one in the historical center of Bodrogkeresztúr, where they make sweet wines. They have an old cellar, a really nice cellar, and they have a new venue 1 kilometer from the village, Henye. So the winery owns 34 hectares, but they are equipped to process 800,000 kilograms harvested from 130 hectares. And 80% of their wines are sold abroad. They are present in 40 different countries. So now I would like to give the speech to our gastronomic advisor, Csaba. Csaba, what do you think of this wine? Hi.
Hi. Hi, all. Thank you very much to attend this tasting. And it's definitely an immense pleasure when we have to comment something like this. First of all, you see on your screen a blank tasting sheet. Well, I didn't want to put any datas, and I didn't want to put tasting notes and pairings either. So I just wanted to invite you to put your comments in there, and then when we finish, compare what you have been writing down on the wines, and then compare to what I did already. So to the very first wine, you can do it with me, and if you want, you can send me some of your comments by the chat, or if someone has the voice, can tell me also if something is wrong or I'm not telling the truth. So the very first one is a Tokaj Dry 2020 fresh, very nice mineral nose, and the very nice, I was tasting it already. For me, it's in spite of the minerality, which is also present in the mouth, it's bold, it's smooth. I don't want to say it's creamy, but somewhat it is creamy. But the most important is the freshness of the wine. I would say that even if there is some residual sugar, it's you don't feel it. There is a pretty high acidity and the low alcohol, so at the end, you are having something very fresh, very direct, very good to drink. A wine when you want another glass, want something more. My food pairing would be in two different ways. First of all, I would say I like very much fish, and I like very much fresh fish. To this wine, I would put a fish carpaccio, a tuna tartare, or some prawns. And eventually, because of this slight creaminess which is coming in the aftertaste, I would say some cold poultry dish, but I would suggest also some spicy sauce with it. Also, you can serve this with light salads, and very easy. Just to tell you that I don't want to tell you what to prepare to this, to any of the 12 wines we are going to taste today. But I'm just giving you some ideas. What I would love as well to this wine is Asian food. Could be. And it's so easy, so simple to pair, because this is, for me, what I would call a gastro wine. What should I call a gastro wine is just the wine you can pair almost anything to this. I think this is what I have to say of this. What do you think? Heini? For me, it's okay. I was just finishing. Piotr is coming in. Mm-hmm. I love very much the minerality of the wine. Could we pass to the second one, or? Heini, what is happening?
I don't know exactly. I think the next wine is coming now. Piotr
Yes.
is here.
Okay.
Yes, you hear me now?
No, you
Yeah,
just,
we can
you
hear
just
you. We can hear
disappeared.
you.
That's lovely.
Sorry,
Yo,
sorry. This
No
is
problem.
okay.
this is
I-
some technical issues.
Technical
but
issues.
yeah. Now let me pass to the second wine, and this is Janos Jareczny and Winery Beresh. We have some difficulties today. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, Janos. Okay, so this is 2 minutes for you, right?
Hi, Janos.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. My name is Janos Jareczny. I am the winemaker in the Beres Winery, which is owned by the Beres family. So we are a 100% Hungarian family-owned winery. The Beres name or the brand can be familiar from the pharmaceutical sector by the Beres drops, which is a special medicine. It can be improve the human immune system, but in 2002, the family decided to invest the wine business. So the Beres Winery was founded in 2002. So we are quite young winery. We will be 20 years old in the next year. We have 45 hectare vineyards or grapes in 3 vineyards. They are the Lőcse, Omlás, and the Diókút vineyards. Our philosophy is to create modern-minded Tokaj wines with the latest cultivation and processing the technologies based on a local historic tradition. We produce the full range of Tokaj wines, from dry to sweet, and from fresh, reductive wines to full-bodied barrel-aged ones. The 2019 Estate Furmint is the result or the fruit of our philosophy of our winemaking. In this case of the wine, we blended from 5 different Furmint wines, which were made by different technologies. It means we used different yeast and fermenting temperature, and the harvest of the grapes was in different days. So we would like to create a fresh fruity wine, but we would like that also this wine will be complex dry Furmint as well. So I hope you will enjoy our Furmint, and I hope you will enjoy all of wines from Tokaj in this evening.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Just one thing I missed with the last wine. The Resla is imported by Trezor Wines, JNT Group, and Winne Pola, and you are looking actually for an importer.
Yes.
That's it. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's keep it
So
now.
good.
Csaba,
Just please, thank you. Just please pour yourself a glass of the Béres Estate Ferment. That's curious because, as Janos said, it's different winemaking technologies, and you can feel in the glass that it's different winemaking technologies. Three different ferments are blended together to make this estate ferment. The wine is nice and fragrant. It is reflecting fresh pear aromas. For me, that's very direct. I don't want to say it's pungent. It is not. But I would say when you taste it, you have the creaminess, you have a silky texture, and also you have a very nice minerality which is coming through. Not as mineral as the first one. It's definitely due to this blending of different ferments of different wine technologies, but it's still fresh and very vibrant. And something also what is very good for me, when I cannot, after trying the wine, I'm not able to talk about because I'm just swallowing my saliva, which means that there is a nice, really gorgeous acidity which is present. For me, to be honest, the two first wines are in the same category of high acidity, very easygoing, good to pair to any food wines. Here also, I'm based on fish carpaccio, fish tartare, something like blended with a very nice sauce based on lime, lemon, extra virgin olive oil, something like that. And also, what is every time good with such a kind of wines is green salads with fresh herbs, garden herbs, very easy to go, easy to eat, light dishes. To be honest, I know this wine for already several times I tried, and every time I'm drinking it, I can be drinking another one as well. So cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you, Janos. Thank you, Csaba. And yeah, any comments coming? Anybody? I believe you all. Heini, hello.
Hello, Heini.
Hello, Heini. Okay, somebody's writing something. Well, let us see the comments.
Great wine. Yeah, South Carolina.
Thank you.
Carolina. Well, okay. Heini, so this is 2 minutes for you. And thank you very much, Janos. Stay with us, please. Perhaps some other comments will come. Okay. We can't hear you, Heini. This time it does.
Switch on
Microphone.
the mic.
Yeah.
That's good.
Now,
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, all right, perfect. Good evening, everyone. Erzsébet Pizza, our winery is a family winery producing limited quantities of top quality Tokaj dry wines, Szamorodni and Alsó, and we own 15 hectares of classified vineyards in 4 villages and in 7 different parcels. Our winery's first vintage is 1993, and the second generation joined the winery in 2008. And we are soon to celebrate 30 years of operation. Zafir Dülő is one of our most important dry single vineyard wines with a very distinct, elegant, refined style. Zafir, or sapphire in English, is the name of the vineyard, and Dülő means cru. The vine beautifully carries the character of the vineyard, which is a historical premier cru, a small 5.5 hectare vineyard that has a soil of loess and a volcanic bedrock of dacite. 2020, the vintage, was a challenging vintage in Tokaj. Quantities were down, but with careful growing and strict selection, actually great wines were made. 2020 Zafir Dule fermented in stainless steel tanks and aged in five different kinds of barrels from 3 different coopers, old and new, for 6 months. This style of dry Tokaj is a great food wine, by the way, with many possibilities for food pairings, in my opinion, and room for experimentation as well. We have been making this single vineyard dry wine since 2008 and has received a lot of acclaim for it. For example, the 2015 vintage was best of category in the San Francisco International Competition in the US, and the Zafir Dule 2018 vintage just received 92 points from Wine Enthusiast magazine. I'm looking for an importer who would like to introduce family-owned, limited quantity and top quality wines to Poland. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Heini. Well, I was just pouring myself a glass of this wine, and I tried it already. So there is something which is very good with almost all the wines we are going to taste. I don't know if you guys are having also the same impression that you don't need to this kind of wines very high alcohol. And I think for the moment, the highest was 13, but you didn't feel it much. This is even lower, and it's not a problem. Even if there is, I would say it would be off dry at the beginning, but it is not dry because of the acidity. Here again, the acidity compensates very well this residual sugar, very nice and very fresh, and yet what you have in your mouth is the oak aging notes, aromas, which are differentiating the third wine to the two first. For me, this is a bit richer, so that's why I think this wine would be very good for some richer, like pork lard, ham, or even smoked ham, or perhaps smoked fish. Or I was just eating some caviar dish 15 minutes ago, or 45 minutes ago, before we have started, and I'm still having in my mouth the saltiness of the caviar, but that would be even go with this. And one more thing, even if it's not the deepest and the deepest secondary and tertiary aromas wine, but I would love this with a rich mushroom ragu as well. This is just to contrast the richness of the of this mushroom ragu. But basically, you can eat with this. Any pork-based charcuterie would be nice, and again, a gastro wine, which could be going from smoked fish up to a baked fish, or even if you want, I could be going onto rabbit, for instance. I didn't put it in the presentation, but if you want, you can. I love it. Heini, what do you think of that? Put your mic back.
Microphone.
The rabbit?
Yes. That's
yeah. I turned it on. It just takes a little time to recycle.
What I said.
the rabbit would be a great pairing. Yeah, and you gave me this idea of smoked fish and mushroom.
Try it.
I will try those.
I'm sure.
Love to try it. Thank you.
Good. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much
Hein.
indeed.
Thank you. White
you.
rabbit, of course.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm appearing as a bad cop here, just a time manager. So let's go to the next wine, and this is Christian Farkas and Bodrog Bormieli already has an importer in Poland, and it is Winemates Company. And Christian, yes, hello, Christian.
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, we can see you. Go on. Yeah.
Okay, greetings everyone. My name is Christian Farkas. I'm the co-owner of the Bodrog Winery. Me and my friends János Hajdú together found Bodrog in 2007. The estate is located a few kilometers from town of Tokaj. We are in Bodrog Kisfalud, and the vineyards located border surrounding villages. We start as a garage winery with 1 hectare vineyard, with a small classic wooden press and some few barrels. We have been grown organically and expanded steadily. And after more than 10 years of work, we have 7 hectares of vineyards and bottled now 50 to 30,000 bottles. Since 2016, the vineyard has been steadily transitioning to organic farming to produce more expressive wines. At the last year, we started the process of obtaining the official organic certification also. Also, in the last year, we have been finished a new full estate winery center and developed guest house. From the viticulture to winemaking, most of works we do it ourselves carefully in organic way. I hope my wine already in your glass.
Mm-hmm.
I want to show this is the level,
Sure.
an 18. Some few hours the winemaking. After the gently pressing and the mousse settling, we rack down the mousse into the cellar in barrels to fermenting. We use 50% new, 50% third time filled local 220 liter size Szeregyei barrel. The fermentation takes place slowly at 10-12 degrees. After the fermentation at December, we decanted the new wine, washed the barrels and filled again with wine for the further 4 months. Bottling was in the next April. I believe very strongly in local wine. I guess beside of our main product, Asu wine, the single vineyards dry also can be outstanding. I trust today that we can prove it through this wine. Please taste and enjoy. Your turn, Csaba, please.
Thank you very much indeed. Just can you imagine that this guy was presenting me wines at the time he started the winery, and I was pretty between the very first persons to taste his wine. So good to see you again, Christian. And it was for me a lovely pleasure to get this wine, which is more on the oaky side, bold, rich, oaky, but again a very nice, uh, uh, a very nice acidity. Even the wine is not having technically so much acidity, but the feeling is there, and it is very velvety as well. So it's quite an outstanding story. Maybe here we have a bit of alcoholic finish, but this is my sensibility to this, which lets me saying that. What I would suggest to this wine is again, not again. I would go with this wine to definitely spicy Indian dishes. Can you imagine the creaminess and the spiciness of the Indian cuisine? And you can have these spicy Indian dishes with this. When you drink it afterwards, and I tried it with spicy already, it is working perfectly well. Anyway, any pasta dish with meat or eventually with truffle would be also very good, or just a simple poultry ragu. What do I say as a poultry ragu, for instance, with a duck ragu, uh, uh, or just truffle, simply truffle and butter, and that would be fine. Uh, any poultry charcuterie could be also done, or just white meat and cream sauce. That's what this wine gave me as first impressions.
Yeah, sounds good, Chava. Thank you.
Hopefully. Cheers.
Okay.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Christian. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Chaba.
Pleasure.
And now we pass to Nobilis and Charolta. Charolta, please join us.
Very
Charolta.
Charlotte. Oh,
And she's coming.
Yes, I'm
here
here.
she
Hi.
is.
Hello.
Hello for everybody. So it will the first házlevelű which we taste together this evening, because in the other wine was a Furmint, but as you know, in our region we have 4 variety, and the házlevelű, this is the second most important variety. But many producers made from this variety sweet wine. But I prefer the dry. And some words about my winery. So we are a family winery. As you see, you can see my grandfather and grandmother and my daughter also. And my parent and grandparent also cultivated vineyard. And this wine, which we taste together, the Barakony vineyard, this is on the picture, yes. It was my grandfather land. And when he was old, he separated in a small parcel and had his daughter. And my mother and her sisters cultivated in the small parcels, but later when they finished the cultivation and I finished the university and turned back to the region, we bought back from the family the small parcels and replant again this beautiful parcels. We are the neighbors with the Bodrog Borműhely, and our vineyards and wineries very close to each other, and we replanted this beautiful place, and from 2005 was the first vintage when I tried produce from this variety dry wine. And the first vintage was very interesting. The people will love or not a dry házlevelű, and I was a little bit afraid it's will like or not. And but later, when the visitors tasted this wine, and they loved it, and from that point, I made from it only the dry wine. In my vineyards, you can find Furmin. This is the most important. The second, házlevelű, yellow muscat, which is very, very popular in Poland also, and kövérszőlő, which is a very small variety. Very important nowadays, the dry wine. And I like very much the vineyard selected wine, because in this way we can show you which reach our region, and every different vineyard has got a special character and special taste, and in this way we can show how rich our wine region. You can see on the picture my press house and winery in an old house, middle of the city in Bodrogkeresztúr. Behind this white house, which is in my office, and the backyard in the winery. And a few words about this wine. This is 2018 vintage. it was extremely hot. Yes.
I'm sorry, we are limited with time. So
Okay.
yeah.
So only 2 words on the winemaking.
Yes.
Sorry. And this vintage was very hot in 2018, and because of it, I started very early the harvest, and I would like keep the freshness and acidity. I pressed very gently, and after the fermentation was in a barrel, but only 5 months in a barrel. Okay, I finish.
Okay, thank you. And your importer is
This is Rafa Vino.
Rafa Vino,
Rafa
yes.
Vino.
Father and son. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Charlotta. Csaba, now your turn.
Thank you, Charlotta. It was an immense pleasure to try the one and only dry harsh level today, because I like very much. So you have to know something. What Charlotta didn't say about that. Harsh level was in every winemaking families. The wine which was kept by the family and which was the wine the winemaker family was drinking. But it was not a bad wine, of course. You never, as a winemaker, you never do any bad wine for you. So that's why this is an absolutely amazing interpretation of a heavier style harsh level that it used to be well before. As it's a parcel selection, it's absolutely amazing. For me, it's nice and fragrant nose with some linden honey and chamomile on the nose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's very smooth and very round in the palate, full-bodied. Okay.
Okay. I can
Csaba,
hear you,
there is a
Csaba.
problem with you.
Yes.
We lost
Yes,
Csaba.
it's okay.
Am I? I'm here.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're back.
okay.
You're back. You're alive.
I was
Yes.
just trying to find a word. Okay, sometimes I make a break of 2 seconds, but it has a very nice long finish, which is very, very elegant. So what I was suggesting to this, well, of course, not something common. Smoked fish, smoked ham,
Absolutely.
pork and veal ragu or veal ragu, roast pork or suckling pig
Mm-hmm.
with crispy skin. And I want the crispiness, I want this fatty part, because that will go perfectly well with this. On another hand, I was also proposing Middle Eastern cuisine, whole roast cauliflower with charred cabbage, or oven roasted beetroot, for instance. Not too spicy, so with a medium spiciness, with charred grilled black peppers. Even these black peppers could be stuffed with goat cheese, for instance. Can you imagine this dish? These dishes are just the mezze dishes of the Middle Eastern cuisine, and that would be a perfect match to this wine, I think. I tried it yesterday with a pork belly roasted with the skin. It was amazing.
Okay. I will try it at home. Okay. I have time,
Okay,
and
I did it. I did it.
Okay.
Your life is amazing, Csaba.
Mm-hmm.
Caviar. And, well, every day is a day.
For sure.
Right. And now, Heinalka, you're back, and next wine is appearing. So you're now you are Gabor Oros.
Yeah.
Is that
Can
so?
you hear me?
We can
Yes.
hear you, we can see you, and stay with us.
Okay. Nice. I always ask. Okay, so Gabor unfortunately can't attend the tasting. So Gabor is in the picture. He's the owner of a family winery. His winery is located in Mad village, and his family is working in a farm in Mad village for a generation. He owns 10 hectares, and he buying grapes also. As he's an autochthonous Mad village resident, he's really the person. He knows everyone in Mad, and we can't avoid him if he go to Mad. So, and he knows really well the vineyards around the village. Once I could attend the vineyard tour with him, and I really recommend you a Mad vineyard tour with Gábor Orosz. So let's taste his wine.
Well, let's taste this wine. First of all, we have changed the color in my chart. So we go to the late harvest sweet wines.
Yeah.
Definitely. And we are having quite a higher residual sugar. But don't worry for that. To the nose, it is having, for me, it was a bit closed, but it is with some botrytis notes, and you are having honey and some apricot, dried apricot with hints of quince on the palate. You have a very nice acidity, which keeps it up. The finish is not too long, but very nice on the sweet side, but it's like on pear drop side. I would suggest to this wine, basically something like scallop, for instance, which could be very easily paired with the Sarkozy sauce, and it's totally at the other end of a tasting schema. You can have a game terrine, so a deer, wild boar, or hare, whatever. You could be using also with this wine, like in a Portuguese cuisine, you use seasoned salt fish with lots of fresh herbs, and that could be a very nice pairing to this. One or two more things. I would love salty anchovies to this, or a lobster slightly sautéed with some lemon and vanilla. So I think it has its complexity, yet it's not the most higher residual sugar wine in this category.
Okay, thank you, Csaba. Hajnalka, the wine is available on the market in Poland?
Unfortunately, I don't know exactly if it's available or not.
Yeah, but this is a personality, Gábor Orosz. It's a pity.
Yeah, he is.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. So now let's go to the next winery. I feel we are speeding up a little bit. It's Barta, and this is Vivian. Hello, Vivian. Do we hear you? Do we see you? No, we can't.
Hi, Vivian.
We can't hear you.
Vivian,
the microphone.
switch the mic.
Yes. And now it's much better. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Yay.
Hello, of course. Oh,
So I am Vivian Újvári, the winemaker of Barta Winery. We are a very small family-owned winery in Mád as well as Tokaj Gábor. And the winery is owned by the Barta family. We cultivate altogether 13.5 hectares of vineyard, from which 85% is full mint and 15% are yellow muscat and half level. And on the picture you can see now the Old King vineyard, so Öreg Királydőlő. It has always been a first class growing area since from the beginning of the 18th century, when the first vineyard classification took place in Tokaj wine region. The altitude, as you can see on this one, is very high, 343 meter high, and the sweetness is 63 degrees Celsius. So we cultivate everything by hand, no machines, ain't no machine going in the terraces. And we have there the traditional vine plants, the wine bushes. We are fully organic. We have always been fully organic, though we are certified organic since 2016. And let's speak a few words about the wine. We are tasting at the moment the late harvest from 2018, what was a very hot and dry year. It's 100% full mint, and the single vineyard wine from the Öreg Királydőlő. The name, if I would translate it, it means Old King vineyard, because in the 1280s it was first written mentioned as a royal property. It was picked on the 2nd of November, so very late. And as 2018 was a hot drier, the berries were shriveled, so non-volatile berries, and it was gently pressed on pneumatic horizontal press, then vinified in stainless steel tank. Fermentation went through 13 degrees, so very low to keep the fruitiness, and then it was aged in a small Hungarian 225 liter big barrels in New York, and the other part in a second field oak. I hope you will enjoy.
Thank you, Vivian. And your importer is again
Rafa Vino and
Rafa
Eva
Vino.
Hagel, and in the Warsaw area we are looking for an importer.
Yeah. So we're looking for an importer in Warsaw, and Rafa Vino is in south of Poland. Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Exactly.
And I believe we tasted the previous vintage in June. It was 2017, the same one.
Exactly. Yes.
This, I remember still. So
You have a
good.
good memory.
how was it?
How was it?
How was it? Okay.
It was like your
I-
caviar,
remember
It was
it?
like your caviar.
Some memories. Yeah. In the meantime, have you seen this text message? Please tell us a bit about difference between the vintages in last decade. So maybe Heini could be doing it at the end, because it's more about the whole Tokaj area. For me, Vivian, thank you for this wine. I have a very nice, sweet, almost tobacco notes. Who is using the? Piotr, could you switch off your?
Yeah, I did switch off
Thank
my.
you. No, because I was just having your typing.
No. This is that's
So
now
I
it's
don't know
okay.
who's
Now it's
typing.
okay. Now it's fine. Sorry.
That's good. So I have a sweet tobacco notes, very easy drinking in spite of this 105 grams of sugar. Easy drinking. It's a desert wine at its best, and what is very important. to emphasize is that this is 100% ferment. So you have the fermenting aromas which are coming out. For me, it's not. These are all primary aromas. I have a medium to medium plus finish, and I would say it could be as a dessert wine used with light fruity or even creamy desserts, or, and these are my quite strange opinions, major cheeses like Gruyere or Comté, French cheeses, or major goat cheese, or what is my special selection could be tried with some pasta carbonara. Try it. Can you imagine the eggs, the egg yolk, and the smokiness of the bacon or lard or what you have been using? Or another hint could be a white boar ragu pasta, tagliatelle or pappardelle. I would love that to try with this sweet wine. Just for the story, last month I had been making a full 6-7 course meal tasting in London, together with one of our presenters from Patricius, who is coming sooner or later, Peter. And it was amazing that you could be using sweet wine, how easily you could be using sweet wine for all these savory dishes. You can be using as well for cured meat if you want, but for me, this white boar ragu or pasta carbonara could be a hint. Cheers.
Well, Chaba, definitely in my next life, I will be you. Okay, with having lunches. Okay, Vivian, any comments?
It was a pleasure to listen to you, Csaba.
Okay.
It was great. I was having one of your wines also there in London.
Oh, yeah, I know. I remember. I hope you liked it.
Too. Of course, I did.
Great. Gentlemen, ladies,
let's go.
Let's go. Any comments? How innovative. And the vintages. So now let's go to Andrea and Disnoki, 1413. So 3 years earlier, we won at Grunwald, and then we cooperate with Hungarians afterwards to manage politically with it. But this is a different story, and but it built up our friendship anyway. So, Andrea, your 2 minutes. Hello.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm Andrea. I will represent today this snooker to you. So this snooker established in 1992 by Axel Milazim, who is the same owner for big chateaus and port wines in Portugal, the Quinto de Noval, and also the owner for this snooker. This snooker is equal always with the top vineyards in the in the wine region, and 1413 was the first writening. This 1413, the date was the first mentioning in a written documentation, so it's an important date for this snooker. This snooker is 104 hectare. It's one single tract together. It's a one vineyard in a single tract, and as classified as the first growth in 1732, and it was always owned by noble families in the past, like Walbots, Rákóczis, Lonyai family, who was the owner for the Sárga Borház, which is now a restaurant. So 1413 is a very important date for this snooker, but also now it's an Édes Szamorodni. Édes Samorodny is a nice category, which already mentioned how it's cluster selected, bind selected with nice fully or half botrytized noble rooted berries. So without individual selections, so it's not one by one picking, it's a cluster selection, but already botrytized berries. The process how we make the Édes Samorodni, we use direct pressing, and then we age in a cellar in an oak barrel for 12 months, which means 1 year, and then we keep it in the cellar in a bottle. So before we release, it has to be keep it in the cellar for 2 years. We follow these rules, of course. And the wine, it's really nice to have as an aperitif, but I will give Csaba to talk about the wine and the wine pairing, of course.
Oh, sure.
So
Thank you very much.
please.
It was for me.
Thank you.
Yes. To be honest, now we are having a deep dive to the very high levels of residual sugar, but I don't feel much. What I have with this wine, and that's why I like very much Samorodny, and everyone could understand the Samorodny. When you have the nose, you have a very deep botrytis nose. This is not to, you want to learn what is a Tokaj wine, you have this. You take it, you have it, you take it, and you smell it, and you have this botrytis nose, and it's fascinating. You have all these dry apricots on the palate. You have also very nice spices. That could be also some Christmas spices. And what I don't know how, but I found, and I'm still finding as well, some pepperiness in this wine. That's absolutely amazing. So what should I suggest to this wine? Of course, the easygoing stuff from these wines on to the end. Well, of course, it could be foie gras, but okay, it's quite boring to propose foie gras to every wine. So I'm not going to mention anymore these two words. What I would suggest is a very nice blue cheese. Very nice blue cheese with Oroso. I could be using it at a roast pigeon with quince and citrus, or what we did, for instance, in London with damson. It's because it makes the contrast. The damson is very tart, very acidic and tart, and it's very good together. It compensates and it goes towards a perfect match. Dried charcuterie with a decent amount of fat. So what I would say decent amount of fat could be Mangalitsa ham with all the fat, don't cut it, or just lardo di colonnata, if someone knows these spiced, slightly smoked back hams, back lots from pork from Italy. Again, you can be doing. We can go back to this pasta carbonara, but this time not with bacon, not with ham, but guanciale. Guanciale is all these parts, so this part of the pork, which is very nice, very fat, and very nice, very easy to eat. So, of course, you can use it for desserts, but This is the other word I will not be mentioning, as this wine is already a dessert as itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Andrea,
Yes.
do you agree with me?
Yeah, totally. A lovely wine with lovely food. And I think you should, try at home now.
Try the roast pigeon with this.
I love the roast pigeon ID very much.
Okay, Andrea,
Thank
and
you.
who is your importer in Poland?
Konrad from Warsaw.
Konrad from Warsaw. Yeah, Konrad. Okay. Thank you, Marek. Konrad, wina wybrane. All right.
Oui.
Thank you very much. That's really fine. And let's now pass to Arpad, Hedge, and Adam. Adam, please join us. Adam. Thank you very much, Andrea. Sorry.
Thank you, Andrea.
Hello, Adam. Can we hear you? No.
Switch on your mic.
Yeah, the microphone. The microphone. We can't
Adam.
hear you.
Oh, that's good now.
So at the
Go
moment,
ahead.
Okay, perfect. So
it's okay.
2 minutes for you. Go on.
Okay, thank you very much. So welcome everybody. My name is Adam Farkoy, and I am the winemaker in my family winery. The name is Arpad H Cellar, Arpad Mountain Cellar. My cellar is situated in Serenc. Serenc is the gate of the Tokaj region, so it's a very important place when you come to visit the Tokaj region. If you heard the Serenc name, Serenc is famous on the chocolate. So if you visit Tokaj, you can taste some very good local chocolate in the wine region. So at the moment, we have got 10 hectares, mostly in Mad, in Tarcal, and Bodrog-Keresztúr. And every year we produce about 15,000 bottles, from the dry ferment to the 6-puttonyos asszú. The ferment is mostly dry wines. It's a single vineyard wines from Tarcal and mostly in Mad. The muscat is always semi-dry in my cellar, and I love to use the sweet wines, the hash level. We taste the wine as Fordítás. It's a Hungarian, typical Hungarian Tokaj. When you translate the turnover, it's very interesting because not much people taste it, but it's very. It's like a little asszú, I sometimes say, because very good acidity in this wine, and that the sugar content is little higher than the 6-puttonyos asszú, because it's more than 115. But I think in this category, it's very important in the very.
I'm afraid I'm frozen a little bit.
Okay.
Csaba,
I think Adam has been frozen for his wine, but I'm having his wine in my glass. So I'm just taking over. For me, this is quite a strange wine. You don't drink that often Fordítás. And curiously, this is one of our highest residual sugar content wines, but as well, one of the highest acidities. So it means that it perfectly compensated. It is not having the heaviness of an asszú, but it is having a nice and elegant way of having a sweet wine without having so many botrytis notes. It's with its nice acidity, it is smooth and velvety in the mouth. What I would suggest to this wine is kind of, well, I like very much Guinea Fowl, and Guinea Fowl with a cream sauce is absolutely would be my choice to this wine. Also with forest mushrooms, that would be, I think, a very nice match to this. And I would also have, because I have picked up some mushroomy notes, so that's why a carpaccio of mushrooms with just some extra virgin olive oil on this, or with a vinaigrette with some drops of this wine in there. That would be perfectly nice. But if you don't want to go to too complicated mushrooms, try with basic button mushrooms or portobello mushrooms, and that would be very nice. In another hand, what you can also be proposing to this is, again, forest mushroom ragu or any meat with forest mushroom ragu. This is, I think, the ultimate to this. What do you think of that, Adam?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of my proposals?
I think it's very, yeah. It's good, but sometimes in the foliage, sometimes less the sugar. The average, I think it's in the region is about 120. But in this wine, it's a more sugar. But I think the acidity is very high, 9.2, and it's good the balance with the sugar. So for the pairing to the food, I think it's very good.
Okay, but it's you can be pairings with quite a lot of things, I think. But I just picked up this mushroomy way, and I cannot let it go from my head.
Okay, Adam, and you are looking for importer in Poland, yes? The company is.
Yeah. At the moment, I search an importer. So, please, some words I would like to say. Polák, Węgier, dwa bratanki, idą szabli, idą szlaki.
That's impressive. It's awesome. Yeah, I can't say any words. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Made my day. Okay. Yes. And now Peter Molnar and Patriciusz Winery, and we don't know what exactly device he uses. Peter, you're on two devices, and both are allowed. So choose your mobile or your laptop, or and join us. We're good with time, so this is 6:15, and if you'd like to speak longer, Csaba,
I can, no problem. Okay. I was just I wanted to keep on the time schedule you sent me.
Yes,
you said we have 90 minutes, so
you did it perfectly. You did it perfectly, but now let's.
Are we having somewhere, Peter?
Well, Peter,
here he is. He's coming in.
You see him?
But, I don't. No. I'm just having him in the list. Okay.
Yeah, but it's
Peter, could you switch on your
yeah,
video?
please, yeah, please press the buttons. Yeah.
Yes. The sound and the
Perfect. Yeah.
and now the video, Peter. That's lovely.
Good. We can hear you.
Slowly but surely.
You know, why
Gimmick.
the rehearsal are
We are
needed.
not in a hurry. You know, we are here for 1,000 years, so time is just.
Oh, good.
Okay,
Good
so this
evening,
is your time.
everybody.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good.
So,
Good evening.
my time is on, Piotr?
Yes. I
Okay,
think
so
so.
on behalf of Patricius, I would like to greet all of the participants in this nice evening. A few words about Patricius. We cultivate more than 80 hectares in the area of 5 villages in 7 different first-class terroirs of the region. We were established in 2000 by Kékesi family, whose roots are dating back to the 17th, 18th century of Tokaj history. On the motherline, they were Okoličani, and the Okoličani family had a lot of lands all around the region. By today, as you can see, we have this beautiful winery, which is having an underground cellar with a gravity flow grape processing system, which is the gentlest way of grape processing.
Yeah.
The winery is in the center of the vineyards, and to be honest, this is just, as I used to say, metal and concrete, but basically everything is outside. In the middle of the vineyard, we're very close to the stocks, and mentally we are very close to the wine stocks. This means that we run a very strict yield limitation with pruning, shoot selection, and green vine selection. We set this maximum 1 kilogram per stock, which means 5 to 6 tons in the beginning of the ripening, which is a very low yield. So very strict yield limitation we run. You can see our underground cellar now. Until now, we have more than 70 international gold medals. The last one is coming from this year, from the Cantor World Wine Awards. Our 2017 Six Putonia Shasu awarded the platinum medal with the 98 points in it. So, briefly, that's it. And now we are tasting this wine, which is the younger brother of the Six Putonias, which I just mentioned from 17. This is the Five Putonias.
Yes, but I think the younger brother and the older brother doesn't have any problem.
Basically, they're brothers. So
to get compared. To be honest, I love very much this wine. I was just pre-testing this wine together with the sommelier of the Botanic Castle of Tura. And that was absolutely something very elegant. The elegance of the nose we have picked up at the very beginning with a very nice use of oak. It has it's a really fully very botrytized stuff in our glass with a decent acidity. What we had with this smokiness, we had autumn leaves, forest layers, mushroomy notes, a very nice quince taste in the palate, and elegance. For me, this wine is not too sweet, and what is very important, and that's how I like Asus, when they are finishing on the earthy notes, and it finishes on the earthy notes. So, what would be my suggestion? Well, could be again blue cheese, but not the same blue cheese, so not a generic blue cheese. I would say I would like to have like gorgonzola or gorgonzola mascarpone, what somewhere they call gourmas, which is very good pairing. Or what could be even better, lobster or langoustine? Well, Peter, we have had already together, as you do remember, just 3 weeks ago, a wonderful lobster dish paired with.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Unbelievable.
fantastic
Yeah.
stuff. And that's why it came to my mind, this dish, but it was with some 6 plutoniosh, as far as I remember. I would love this langoustine or lobster just slightly grilled, not too grilled, not when it is becoming tough. And also something totally out of the beaten roads as confit duck leg. And so a duo of duck, for instance, with confit duck leg and medium rare breast, and maybe all served with a couscous with confit fruits. Can you imagine the dish? It's quite rich, but with the acidity of this wine and with the elegance of this wine, it could be a very nice pairing. What I would also suggest is something on a morely vegetable side. That would be a marinated beetroot carpaccio with fresh figs and with some fresh goat cheese. So can you put it all together, prepare a lobster salad with marinated beetroot and fresh figs all together? It's amazing. That's why I think it's uh, again a very good gastronomic wine to pair with anything. What do you think, Peter?
I completely agree with you. And as you had this fantastic experience in London almost months ago in private restaurant, the whole event just strengthened this point of view which you speak about, that the with big letters, the good Tokaj wines, the Tokaj sweet wines like good Samaroni and Asu wines are much more than as we use it, as we use them today in the gastronomy. So these wines are very well equipped with structure, elegance, balance. So that's why they are capable to pair, as you say, Chaba, with even a duck, which normally should go with a
Can you
lighter red
imagine
wine,
that?
lobster,
Uh,
fantastic
a duck
lobster,
confit with
sweet
this?
bread, sweet bread with
Oh,
rice.
yeah. I didn't want to
Fantastic,
use the
fantastic
sweet
pairings,
bread.
So just
Anyway.
be brave in the kitchen, all of you who are listening.
Oh, yeah.
Be brave in the
I think
kitchen,
whatever.
and these
But
wines
sweet
are
bread,
excellent.
I didn't propose it to your wine, to be honest. Okay,
Thank you.
that's good for me. I think I like very much because this, guys, we have arrived with this wine to the Asu word. And when we are talking about Asu, it's just, I think this is not the kind of wine you drink like you drink any spritzer or whatsoever, because these wines are really, just think of the hand-picked, shriveled, botrytized grapes by these old ladies. How many? 11 kilos per day?
Maximum. It's a good picker already. 10 to 12 kilograms
10
this
to
year.
12. Okay, 10 to 12 kilos. So this is amazing. And all this is in the Asu vines. So all the rest what we have been having until now, I like very much a Samarodny, sometimes a Forlitash, okay? But Asu is just a category totally apart. Think of these wines like this as a category totally apart.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter. And your importer is Danubia Fine Wine.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes. Slovak Hapak and Danubia fine wines. Yes.
Great. Chaba, you really make me hungry, and I'm just
Well-
when we finish, I go to the nearest Biedronka to buy all these things, the lobsters and duck leg confit.
I love that.
Or you join Chaba at Botanic, which is a fantastic hotel. Just
Oh yes, it is
Wow.
indeed. And I had a nice salon, just to my use, private use, and sometimes they are coming to bring me water, bring me something else. And it's crazy. Very nice service. Once you come to Hungary, pay a visit. They have an unbelievable wine list.
Okay, so thank you very much, Peter. And
Thank you very
now,
much.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Stay in contact.
Bye.
Cheers. And now, Grof Degenfeld and Mate talk. Mate and another 5 Putonyos Asu. Let me say, this is a big tasting today.
It is indeed.
It is, yes. Mate, hello, Mate, are you with us? No, not yet. Okay.
Mate, switch on your mic and your camera, please.
Now he will manage. He did it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hi.
Good. Hi.
Good evening.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello. So this is your time, Mate. I'm switching off.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you for having me here. I have some photos to show you because one of the things we like the most in our estate is the beauty, how the nature surrounds it. The whole estate center was the idea of the owners. Degenfeld, Marie Degenfeld is one of the owners. She's a countess because Grof in our name means count in Hungarian, and Countess Degenfeld is the owner who founded the estate in the 90s. That's how she could continue the Degenfeld tradition, their activities in the wine region, which was very important preceding the communist era. What you see here is a 4-star castle hotel on the picture, and behind it in the woods you can see the winery building, which is actually much larger than it seems. And that's where we process the 35 hectares of organic grapes we are producing. So we are 100% organic for more than 10 years now, which is a big deal in Tokaj. In general, they're unfortunately among the largest producers. There are only a very few who are organic. And on the hilltop, you can see the chapel, which we've seen also in previous wineries pictures. That chapel belongs to the Grof Degenfeld estate, and we renovated it in 2015. And there is an amazing view on the whole estate and the whole surrounding region. It's really nice to go up there. There's a hilltop park, and we make and it's a possible tour for anyone. We make very clean wines in general. We use modern technology, but we use the traditional Tokaj methods and Tokaj wine portfolio, which we have. We have a very spacious cellar, which looks, I find it really pretty. And in the middle, there is one branch, which is used as a closed treasure for all the old vintages we have, which are not for sale. Let's go for the next picture. This is a few of our wines. You see the labels, which has the family's coat of arms. For dry wines, we only have varietal wines, which is quite... so we don't use blending, only in a very few sweet wines, and this is how we can express very simply only really the variety, the terroir, and the vintage in most of our wines. This is some of the interior of the castle hotel. It's a 4-star castle hotel. It's open every day, and we have a very good restaurant which is pairing Tokaj Asu, the wines we are going to taste, with, for example, goose liver, which is a really good match, and we like it. But I'm pretty sure that we will hear some other tips, and I'm really excited for those. Thank you.
Thank you, Mate. Well, definitely. I didn't want to pronounce this. I did once, and I said I will not be saying again the same ingredient, as everyone does the same with it. But what is more interesting, with such a kind of wines is to have something totally different, totally more vibrant, more. I need some other challenges, and with quite a your wine is very vibrant and very fresh. I just picked up some quince and some vanilla on the nose, and I had decent, very nice. Yet you have a lot of residual sugar, but you have a very nice, very high acidity, and this acidity is absolutely amazing. Um, so the wine is nice and elegant, and very long finish. The long finish is on not dried, but just cooked apricots. That's what I found. So, okay, that was, and second time I'm going to pronounce, because my first pick to this wine was foie gras. Yes, what you call goose liver. I would not say it's goose in the word of the international gastronomy. I think it's much. We talk about goose liver, and it's more duck liver because it's easy to prepare and easy and more accessible. Um, uh, but what I could suggest to this wine is some saucy game dish. Have you ever tried this wine with, for instance, something very complicated dish, which is a hare à la royale, um, which is just totally cooked hare with, okay, fourth time with foie gras in the sauce and in the dish, and with some truffles, or also, for instance, a venison stew, just prepared with some um, creamy sauce, and that would be a perfect match to this wine. Also, again, fifth time, a pigeon stuffed with foie gras inside and roasted in a puff pastry. Unbelievable. And you can put an asu sauce together with it. And as Peter have mentioned before, so now I could be having the sweet bread in panko together with any spicy sauce. That could be also a very good deal. With a kombu sauce or whatever, something like Far Eastern, very good sauce, because with Oriental dishes, that could be a very good pairing. Um, if you are not going too far and you want just a simple thing, just try with the pork liver pate, and that would be also going very well. Cheers.
Thank you very much. I was making notes. It all sounds really amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Csaba. Thank you.
And just to finishing like all the others, who is selling our wines in Poland, especially in the south, is Rafa Vino, and we are looking to partner up with. We are looking for anyone who is partnering up with them to help in the gastronomy to sell our wines. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Mate. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mate.
Thank you.
Thank you, Csaba. Yes, and now, yes, is this the last wine?
It is indeed.
Very fast. So, to your surprise, it will be yes. This is Heinalka. No.
Heinalka again. Yeah.
Heinalka again, but we can't see her.
But Heinalka is.
No, it's just something. It's a lamp, I believe.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
We can see you.
We can't see you.
I don't know why.
Perhaps you have
because
something
I
on
don't.
your camera. Yeah.
No, it's exactly the same everything than before. But anyway, if you can hear me, it's already a good news. So
Yes, we can.
That's
hear
good.
you. Go on, Hajnalka, without seeing you, unfortunately.
Okay, so my fourth turn today evening. So I am working for Füleki Winery. I'm the estate manager of the Füleki Winery. We are a medium-sized winery in Bodrog-Keresztúr village. So Bodrog-Keresztúr is one of the 27 settlements in the Tokaj wine region. It's situated on the bank of River Bodrog. It's a beautiful place. So here in the picture you can see our estate center, which is a guest house. At the same time, we have 6 suite rooms in the estate center. We have vineyards at 11 different places in the wine region, in 5 villages, and this vineyard structure define our winemaking. Yeah, in the next picture you can see, please, the previous picture. May I have the previous pictures, please? Yeah. So in this picture you can see the one of the rooms of the press house of the estate center before the renovation and after the renovation. The renovation took 4 years from the life of the winery. Was completed by 2016. So I just choose this picture because on the top you can see the old press house, the old press room of Füleki Winery, and on the next picture the same room, which is already a big tasting room when we organize wine tasting and wine dinners. Okay, next picture. So it is the interior of the estate center of our Baroque mansion. This is the salon. We use this smaller room for wine dinner and wine tasting for smaller groups, and it can be used by our guests for the breakfast when they come to Bodrog-Keresztúr. So during the renovation of our estate center, it was a really big deal to turn an 18th century Baroque mansion to a 21st century building, which is used as guest house and the wine shop and the tasting room. Next slide, please. So the next slide is our press house. We made the first harvest in the press house in 2010. As you can see, it's modern architecture. We use the local stone for the building. And some words. Can you hear me? Oh no.
Yes, we can hear you. Now we can see you, Hajnalka.
Okay. So
some part of you.
Very good. So I continue. So
yeah, continue, please.
So some words about our wines. So we have estate wines from in our dry wine portfolio from different grapes of Tokaj. So we have a blend of Furmint, Hárslevelű, and Muscat, and we have estate wine, varietal wine from Furmint. As we have vineyard at 11 different places, we have several single vineyard wine from Mád and Tarcal village, from Furmint, Hárslevelű, and Kabar grapes. So the wine that we present today, it's one of our best wine, Tokaj from 2013. So after the tasting, I will speak a little bit about the different vintages of the last 10 years. 2013 was one of the best vintage in the last 10 years. So we see great vintage in Tokaj when we can make all the categories of Tokaj wines I spoke about in my introduction. So dry wines, late harvest wine, and Tokaj Yasu. 2013 was a vintage like that. So in the winemaking of Tokaj Yasu, I mentioned that the winemaking starts with a basic wine. The basic wine can be a wine before, under, and after the fermentation. So the basic wine of this Tokaj Yasu from 2013 was a late harvest quality mast in fermentation from the hash level grape. And the Asu grapes, the Noble Rot, came in 50% from the Furmin grape, then from Hash Levelű, and Kabar also. So it's an excellent wine with several medals. We won a gold medal, a Berliner Wine Trophy, and a silver at decanter with this wine. Concerning my favorite pairings, food pairing, before COVID, I made a big tasting to my friends, and I showed this wine also, and I asked my mother to make an apricot cake with not too much sugar, and everyone enjoyed this pairing with this wine, and my other favorite pairing, the one that we don't pronounce anymore. So
so don't pronounce it.
Yeah. So I won't pronounce it, and I like very much with this wine mature cheese. So Csaba, it's your turn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hajnalka,
Thank you very much.
Hajnalka, your importer in Poland is Twoje Wino.
Yeah,
Yes?
yeah. Our importer in Poland is Twoje Wino in Poznań and in Krakow. He's working in Poznań and in Krakow mainly, and we are looking for distributor for the Warsaw area.
Okay, and the mystery of the screen is it's not a front camera. You switch to the back camera, to the real camera.
Oh my God!
Yes,
really?
and now we. And, well, yeah. Now.
Thank you. You see, but you know it.
Okay, that's good, but
so okay.
Okay,
so Hajnalka, that was gorgeous, because in that case we had been all forced to concentrate on what you wanted to tell us. So it was a gorgeous way to draw more attention to what you wanted to tell us.
Yeah, and it was easier for me also because I couldn't see myself on the screen, so it was better for everyone.
Yes. So what we are having in our glass is something really totally mature wine. It's a sweet and creamy. What I have just like feelings like walking in a forest on the nose, autumn leaves, and when I put it in my mouth, it's long and velvety. I have quince, dry apricot again, some dried pear, curiously, and also a lot of Christmas spices. And these Christmas spices are remaining and giving a very nice, long, and very elegant finish to this wine. So far, so good. What to eat with this? First of all, aged mature cheeses like Parmesan, as old as possible. For me, try a Parmesan with this, and you will be amazed. And it's not a big miracle, but you can try it, and you will be pleased. Cured beef, like Bresaola. or that could be also cured cured venison, for instance. It is also very good with this. I had with this forest notes I picked up. I had also one of my best dishes, which came into my mind, which are best poularde in half morning. Poularde en demi-deuil en français. What is it? What is it? You put a young breast chicken and you put together with some butter slices of truffle under the skin, like this. And you are having black spots in the chicken when you are steaming it or cooking it or whatever. I prefer it steamed, but it's absolutely amazing, and it is having such a gorgeous aromas, and it could be paired very easily with such a kind of very complex Mature Tokaj wines. Also, until now, I said only once that it could be paired with a sweet dish, but this is for me the wine which could be excellent with a British style Christmas pudding with a lot of minced meat, which has no meat in it, so it's just a mix of dried fruit. I think it's something amazing. Well, basically, I have the mince at home, so I keep the rest of the bottle, and I will try it at home to make with a mince pie. I can send you the recipe, the mince
Thank
pie,
you.
how I
Okay.
make it. Okay. For me, this is well, with the age of this wine and the complexities it gives. This is the only one which could be good, like a pudding wine. Oh,
Like a
Thank
pudding.
you.
cheers.
Thank you.
Pudding.
Thank-
I mean, pudding in the desert wine, I would say. But pudding is in the English terminology is not the pudding itself, but served with the pudding. Served with the dessert.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, this
Great.
is something like this.
Great, Csaba.
I think can we have the because I finished with all these wines and food and wine pairings. Can you put my second slide?
Okay.
Piotr?
The carton.
The one which is commented.
Wait a moment.
I wanted to put it now, once I finished. And
Okay. So just let me ask you about the vintages, and then we prepare the
okay.
vintages. Yeah,
We'll be back.
The question on the chat.
Okay, so about the vintages. So when I spoke you about the three wine categories in my introduction, I didn't mention that. So we spoke about three categories. So the whole tasting was based on the three category of Tokaj, dry wine, Samorodni and late harvest wine, and Tokaj Yasu. So in Tokaj, we can make in every year the dry wines. I would say in 8 years from 10 the late harvest wines and the Samorodni wine, and the big ASU vintages are only around 3-4 vintages from 10 year. So we call a vintage big ASU vintage when the quantity and the quality of the ASU grapes is really exceptional, really great in the whole Tokaj region. So in the last 10 years, one of the biggest vintage was in this pic you can see the different harvest of Tokaj of the three category I spoke about. So a really great vintage was 2013 when we could make all the three wines. We had an excellent late harvest in 2013, which is already finished. We have already sold out that wine. It was an entry wine for us for several markets in Europe. For example, in Netherlands, we started to work with our today partner with the 2013 late harvest wine, and we have still this Asu wine, which we will taste for a long time. So it's still a very young wine. Other very good vintages in the last 10 years, 2016 and 17. The quantity was not as big than in 2013, but the quality was really excellent. In quantity, 2017 was higher, and for Füleki and in the wine region, the 2019 was a very great vintage also. We are going to battle after the harvest our 2019 Asu wine. And 2020, I would say it was a little bit disturbed by the pandemic. So in Füleki we made only dry wines, and the last vintage 2021 we could make all the categories, but the quantity was a little bit smaller in 2021 than in an average vintage. But we will make great dry wines. With dry wines, acidity are quite high. From the springtime, the vineyard got 2 weeks late, and we got this late at the beginning of the harvest also. So the harvest started later, a little bit later than an average year. In 2021, we made late harvest wine also, and small quantity Asu wine.
Great.
Yeah, and thank you very much for your food recommendation, for sure. So as I said, we are several of us going to Poland next Monday. So I plan to prepare this chicken recommendation chicken pairing this week. And recently, after your tasting in London, I tasted our Asu with Mangalitsa ham, and it was quite nice also. So Csaba, we can speak of the chart of Csaba now, and after I will speak of Tokaj Day.
Could we come back to my chart, the field chart, please, Piotr? Yes, thank you. Here we are. So I was just preparing it as for everyone. Mostly all my tastings are there. I don't think. Please keep in mind 2 things. If you are using these wines, that anything could be good, and the opposite could also be good. You have to try. That's the first thing. And the second thing, for all the sweet Tokaj wines, there is one more very important thing. And that's why we wanted to we made this sweet wine tasting in London, is just to teach that all these sweet wines could be poured by the glass without any problem, because you just put back the cork, and that's finished. You put it in the fridge, and the next day or 2 weeks later or 2 months later, you can open the wine would not move. Basically, not anymore. So that's why these are very good wines as well for serving them by the glass. I wanted to say that and add that to the ASU and late harvest and summer Rodney recommendations too. Jaime?
Yes. So please the next chart, the next slide, and the next chart about our Tokaj days. So as I mentioned you in the very beginning, 13 wineries from Tokaj, several Tokaj Renaissance members we are going to Warsaw for next Monday, for 29th November. It will be a Tokaj Day in Warsaw, organized by Wojciech Bonkowski, by Viniciativa.
Perfect. Great.
Thank you. So by
Say why
Viniciativa.
once again Bonkowski.
Pardon?
Say
Bonkowski?
once again.
Bonkowski. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Great.
So by Wojciech Bonkowski. and you can the registration is open from today, so you can register as trade. For trade it's free, so the trade tasting starts at 2 p.m. afternoon and will last till 4:30, and after 4:30 it's a tasting for private customers, so you can register on this site, on their site, either as trade or as private, and the venue is Mierzyński Burakowska.
That's right.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes, and so go there. Anything for Tokaj wine, and let's make the Tokaj in Poland great again. And be quick, as next week on Monday at 5 p.m. we start our Erste Lagen tasting. So you have to go there at 2 p.m. and come back to your companies at 5 p.m. Right?
Okay. So
Gorgeous.
So if anyone had question, you are asked to write us your question in the chat room,
or directly to Hajnalka or Csaba, and you will be given the tasting recommendations, wine and food pairing recommendations afterward, when you send us the photos, of course, not before. Thank you very much. Thank you, Hajnalka. Thank you, Csaba. This was really something. And yes, let's meet next Monday on the Tokaj Day.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you. And
thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
You too. Good night.
Good night.
And bon appetit after that.
Magra, Biedronka. I'm leaving.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye. Bye-bye.
Włączyć, wyłączyć, włączyć.